today's topic is what every woman wants to see in her husband. What every woman wants to see in her husband, or why does a woman want to marry? Why is it that women want to marry? Why? Let me tell you what. Men normally think, the reasons that men think that women want to marry is totally different from, in fact, the real reasons why women want to marry. And not just men think like that. The movie industry, Hollywood, Nollywood, and all this, the word perception about women is totally wrong. And the way men think and the way human beings think about women is just is not so good. And largely women are being misunderstood. And I think as well that women themselves don't even know answers to this question. I think only few women can answer these two questions. I think not all women are able to be able to tell you what they want to see concretely in a husband. That is easier. But why does every woman want to marry? Not even every woman can tell you that. Why does she want to marry? So let me tell you, even women think wrongly about why they want to marry. Let me first of all tell you why what we think, what general opinion is about women wanting to marry. Generally, people would think that every woman wants to marry just, number one, to have children. And there are some women who are thinking so too. Every woman, many women and men are thinking women want to marry so that they will be able to have children. So that marriage is, women want to marry to have children. That answer is wrong. Women want to have children, but that is not the reason why they are going to marry. Yes, it is true. Women would like to have children, but that is not number one reason. That is not even number two or number three reasons why they want to marry. Even though women themselves are thinking they want to marry because they want to have children, but it's wrong. That is the stereotype that people have. So, for example, a woman is not going to marry and hoping that it will give me children. That is why, if that is the only reason why a woman wanted to marry, she would have been satisfied with any man. If the only sole reason why a woman wants to marry is for a man to give her a child or to give her children, then she doesn't need to select. Then why is it that women turn down some men? Because every man can make a child. Every man can give you children. So if the only reason why women go to marriage is to have children, then she's not supposed to have been picking or choosing. Picking and choosing. There will be no picking and choosing. Woman will not just have slept with anybody. Just go out of your house or go out of your bedroom, you see a man. Go and get a child from them or from him. So the desire to have children is not the sole reason why a woman wants to marry. So when a woman is looking at a man, this is funny, but when a woman is looking at a man, she's not thinking, okay, he will give me a child, or will give me and when she wants to pick, a husband, and she's dreaming of picking a husband, she's not thinking, okay, he's going to give me a child, he's going to give me give me children. That is not number one reason why a woman wants to marry. So what does a woman want? Why does a woman want to marry? There are more serious reasons why a woman wants to marry. Okay, what is it that the woman wants to see in a husband? He doesn't want to see just as children. Children also are important to her, but that is not number one thing that a woman is looking for when she wants to marry. That's not number one thing she's looking for in marriage. So let's leave that alone right now. Children, good, but that's not number one reason. Number two things that people think about women. So that is one wrong stereotype about women right there. We have stereotyped women that the only thing a woman needs is to get pregnant. The only thing a woman needs is to get a child. No, that is not the only thing she's going for marriage for. And that's not even the most important thing she's going to marriage for. Number two mistake that we are making about women, number two wrong assumption that we have about women is that we think, and even some women think this, that women go into marriage or women want to marry just for sex, Especially men think like this. Especially men think that women are looking for sex and that's why they need a man. That's another mistake. Women are not looking at the man and thinking, oh, how is he going to have sex with me? No. That's not number one thing a woman is thinking about. It's even not number two thing. It's even not number three thing. It's not a priority at all. Woman is not going to marry for sex. And this mindset, though, is so widespread, especially among men, that, let me tell you some secret. If you're a lady here, I want you to know what men are thinking. And I think the men here will support me. Not all the men that are here are thinking like that, because maybe some of you have been refined and you are Christians. But out there in the world, out there in the Wide West or Jungle West or Wide West, men normally think that women are promiscuous and that women only think about sex and that the only thing that women are out for is sex, and that it is only for sex that women are dressing the way they are dressing, and that women dress the way they dress and they use the makeup just for sex, and that women are only looking for attention because they want sex, and that women are actually promiscuous. And they will give you an argument that one of the reasons why women are promiscuous, why they believe and why they are wrong that women are promiscuous, is that see how many women are involved in prostitution. So people are thinking that prostitution is a reason, is an argument why it is, why they are right about women. That look at how many women are into prostitution, and since there are so many of them that are involved in prostitution, it means that men are right. Men are right that women are after, they are only after one thing. They are only thinking about sex, and sex is their focus, and sex is the only thing they think about. And that makes me, having known who ladies are and having known the nature of women, that breaks my heart. That assumption breaks my heart. And in our church here, I do everything possible. I fight against this mentality. And I do everything possible to change the minds of men. I actually have HMTs for men. And I have, I take them out to my house and I teach them. And one of the things I teach the women and the men is that they shouldn't look at women like that, as a sex object, or just looking at them as people who are just out to have sex. Let me tell you, as a matter of fact, women are not as big on sex the way men are. And even the fact that we have women prostitutes, that is also not an argument to say that women are promiscuous. As a matter of fact, I will tell you what, women are more pious, women are more upright than men. Women, it's not in their nature to be promiscuous. It's not in the nature of women to sleep about. It's not in the nature of women to be having sex up and down, left and right. It is absolutely not their nature. As if believe me, in our church here, we have maybe 3,000 women who have been into prostitution. that I have had to deal with personally. 3,000 women. Can you believe that? 3,000 women who have been through prostitution in our church, and that I've spoken to a lot of them. I've spoken to them, and I will have to let you know, because this is from my own first-hand experience. I used to think the same thing, just like every other man, that women are, loose on sex. But when I began to talk to this lady who were in prostitution, I understood Jesus better when Jesus said, don't ever blame anybody. Don't ever point accusing finger. Don't ever judge people. Please don't judge people. Until I had first-hand experience with women in prostitution. I didn't know that those women are not doing prostitution out of fun or out of good life. That these women that are into prostitution, they are forced to. It's just life that has compelled them to be engaged or involved in that kind of lifestyle. It's never their first choice. It's never their second choice. It's never their fifth choice. It's never their choice at all. And it's so unfortunate that women also think that other women who are into prostitution are loose women. No, it's not because they are loose women. It's just because life happens. Life happens to everybody. Let me tell you one thing about prostitutes. Now. There is no normal woman. In fact, oh God, how can I take? God help me. Statistically, this is statistic now. Let's say we have 100 prostitutes. Let's say you have 100 prostitutes. Out of 100, there is no one. 99.9% of all prostitutes, they have to numb themselves before they could do prostitution. They have to use either drugs, or they have to use tablets, or they have to use alcohol. There is no human being, no prostitute, no woman goes to prostitution out of her own mind. There is no woman that engages in prostitution without making herself numb, without numbing herself first, without shutting herself out. She has to shoot herself out. She has to shoot herself down. She has to either use alcohol, or she has to use drugs, or she has to do something to make her mind, to shut her mind down. She has to numb herself before she can do it. It is absolutely not natural for a woman to be prostitute. I've even had men say all women are prostitutes. That all women are prostitutes. It's like women are just prostitutes. Even if they are wives, or even if they have never been slept with a man before, even if they have only had just one man in their life, that still they are all prostitutes. That is so painful to hear. If you want to challenge my assertion, if you don't believe what I'm saying, go walk with the prostitutes. I'm not talking about the prostitutes who are still outside. I'm not talking about the prostitutes who have numbed themselves, who have lost their mind, and who are still using drugs or alcohol, or who are, who are not thinking straight. No, those ones in the street, or those ones who are still in the brothel, they are not thinking straight right now. So they might be doing, bravado and saying, okay, we like it, or things like that. But when they are cooled down, when they are not under any influence, and when you begin to talk to them, you will just be heartbroken that how can we humans even allow situations to happen to these women such that the only way out for a lot of them is just prostitution. The only way out for them. Now, that is not only the reason why women go into prostitution. There are other reasons why women go to prostitution. Some of the reasons might be because they want attention. But, we will talk about that later on. But it is absolutely wrong to think that women by nature are promiscuous. It is absolutely, I'm talking to the men right now, please stop looking at women as naturally promiscuous. Stop looking at women as potential prostitutes. Stop, and that is the idea behind men controlling their wives. If you know, if you notice, you know what happens? What happens is that men, they want their women, their wives, to take permission from them before they could go out, or before they could travel, or before they could do this and that. Why? Because almost every man is afraid that, oh, if I let her go by herself, or if I let her go alone, she will stay with somebody, or she will go and prostitute herself. So either they want to go with her, or in fact, in the Arab world, my God, that is so dehumanizing. That is so dehumanizing. That is so humiliating. They don't allow a woman to go out of her own house. They will not even allow us to go and buy, to go to the store, to go to the mall, or to go out at all without either covering her face or without her going with a man. In fact, in some countries, she has to go with somebody. Someone has to go with her. Someone has to accompany her. How can you demean a human being to that level? How could you disgrace a human being? How could you humiliate a human being to that level? If there is anybody that is promiscuous out of men and women, it is not women. It is men who are promiscuous. Do women also sleep about? They sleep about, but there are reasons for that. And we could talk about that later. But women sleep around, or women sleep or have affairs for other reasons, totally different from what men think. They are not doing those things for sex. Sex is not the primary preoccupation of a woman. Sex is not the primary concern of a woman. And I will tell you now what women are looking for in men. I will let you know what women want to see in their husbands, and I will let you know the reason why every woman wants a man or needs a man. But sex is not in a number one priority. Sex is not even number two. Sex might not even be number three. Why? She wants a man. So thinking, like for example, in my personal family, I think it's a disgrace for me to ask my wife to be, in my church, even in my own church, there are men up to now, 21st century, who would tell their wives that I didn't give you permission to go. Okay, for example, some people will say, I can't come to church today. I say, why? Oh, because my husband did not permit me. What do you mean permit you? Husband permits you. What do you mean permit you? Oh, he said I shouldn't go. Or we have what we call trainings, 2 days training, 3 days training, or we have to go for, HMT, for example. So then the husband will say, I don't permit you to go. You don't permit her to go? Oh yeah, without permission she cannot go. I said, okay, what about if she is the one telling you that without permission you cannot go? What about, let's turn that around. Let's now say it is the woman that says, I don't permit you to go, so you cannot go to work, you cannot go outside, you cannot go to seminar, you cannot go anywhere. I think for me, myself, it is an insult for me to be telling my wife she needs my permission before she could do anything she wants to. Permission? Excuse me. When I was marrying her, did I tell her she was going to prison? When I was proposing to her, was I telling her that, okay, when you marry me, you will need permission before you'll be able to go out, or make you know from the beginning? When you marry me, you will not be a free human being again. When you marry me, your freedom is lost. When you marry me now, you are now going to be half human. You are not going to be fully human again. Is that what I told her? Did I give her that kind of commitment? Of course, I didn't tell her that. I did the opposite. I told her that she will be my princess. I told her that she will have a good life. I promised her heaven and earth to just make her to agree. So now that she has agreed, does that mean that I have to tie her down, which means I've lied to her, which means I've deceived her? How could I deceive her, telling her that she's going to have this good life, she's going to be this, and then when she's married, I make her and tie her down? That would be betrayal. That is not just deception. That is going to be absolute betrayal. So for me to be now telling my wife that she needs my permission, how could she leave my permission when she lived before me all 20 years or 25 years of her life without me? She was walking about. She was living her life without me. 25 years or so, she could walk about in her freedom. Nothing happened to her. So how is it now that I'm thinking it is now that she needs my protection or she needs my permission to go out? Can you imagine how demeaning that could be? Can you imagine how demeaning that would be? She'll say, you need my permission. It's just like saying my wife now, she wants to go to France. She has an appointment there, or she wants to go to Sweden, or she wants to go to Africa, or she wants to go to America. For any reason whatsoever, she has her own reasons or she has her own plans. Then I will say, what are you going to do there? Okay, who gives you permission? Okay, I don't permit you. I don't allow you. So I am already sowing distrust in my own marriage. I am already sowing doubt in her own heart, in my own heart. That means I'm telling her I don't trust her. I'm telling her I don't believe in her. What should be the right attitude of a real man? A man is supposed to say, oh, okay, you need to go out? You need to travel to Sweden? Okay, when are you leaving? Tomorrow. Okay, do you have enough money, or how much money do I need to give you? Go ahead and take, have you gotten your ticket? Do I need to get the ticket for you? Or, okay, do I need to call anybody to meet you over there? Or do you have all that arranged? Yes, or maybe, okay, let me find out. Let me call somebody to let them know that you are coming. Give me the date or something. Or if she says she has already, okay, I'll say, okay, this is another much more money for you. Or, in my own case, I don't even give my wife money. She's the one having all the money anyway. Take all the money you need. Do anything you need. Let me know when you are coming back so that I'll be able to meet you or arrange for your comfort. Is the hotel okay? That is why you are a husband. That is why you are a partner. You are supposed to find out what she needs and how you go. But to be asking her questions, who are you going to meet with? Is it this or that? And it's so sad that people are going to be telling you different stories. Men are going to come back with you and tell you different stories. Okay, I heard of a situation when she said this, she was going to meet her brother, but then it was not her brother, it was a lover, it was a secondary school lover, or it was this and that. Women are weak, and so I cannot allow her to go by herself, or and anything can happen. Let me tell you, women are stronger than men. I've not seen a man that is as strong as a woman. I've not seen a man that is as strong as woman when it comes to temptation. Women are actually stronger than men. Women are, when it comes to sex. So don't bring that argument out to me. Don't bring that argument out to me. And we're going to talk about that if that is the case. But let me face my own topic for today first. Okay, one of the men is replying me to the statement I'm making now. What about your wife wanting to go to a place where you are not comfortable with? What do you mean not comfortable with? Where I am not comfortable with? Now, Moses, can you hear what you are saying? My wife wants to go to a place where I am not comfortable with? Do I decide where she should go to or where she shouldn't go to? Number one. Number two, how can I be the one comfortable or not comfortable with it? Am I the one going there? If she wants to go to a place, you should rather say a place where she is comfortable with or she is not comfortable with. It's not me going there. So it's not about my comfort. You shouldn't be asking about my comfort. It should be about her comfort. She is a human being. Let's start out with that one. Let's start out by recognizing that the fact that she's my wife doesn't make her to cease being a human being. The fact that she's my wife does not make her to stop being an adult. She is an adult. She's not a 5-year-old kid. She's not a 2-year-old baby. I could only ask her, if I have my doubts, I could only ask, are you okay, princess? Are you sure? All right. Or if I have serious doubts, I might be able to just present to her my opinion, tell her to exchange to her why I have a concern or the information that I have. But it's a decision ultimately, because she was living a free life without me before she met me. She was going to everywhere she needed to go to before she met me. She was a free person before we met. She was always going to where she was comfortable with, not where I was comfortable with before we met. So why is it now that the place she was going to before, where she was comfortable with, now all of a sudden I'm the one deciding that for her, that place is not comfortable? What an arrogance that is. What an arrogance that is. So what about if I'm not comfortable with where she's going? Okay, I already answered that. Sometimes it is not because you don't trust her or you are jealous, but because you know such place won't do any good to the family. Oh, Moses. I'm sorry. Please, take it easy. Don't look down at a woman like that. Don't make your own decision or your own judgment to be the right one all the time. Okay, another man is writing here. Unfortunately, some women do not have the liberty from birth due to the culture of their environment. In some cultures, a girl is made to believe she is subject to the menfolk, and they take dictations from their youthful age. Wow. Even from their mother. So sad. Well, it's a pity. It's a pity. Yeah, it's a pity. I don't think any woman will go into any marriage where she knows that she's going to prison or she's going to be under control. I don't think any woman would like to do that. If she does that, it means she doesn't even have self-respect in the first place. Okay. Let me just face my own topic today, please. My topic today is, you already know, what is it that a woman is looking for in a man, and why is a woman getting married in the first place? Let me tell you, I've already told you that a woman is not getting married because she wants to have a child. She wants to have a child, but that's not the real reason she's looking for in marriage. And another thing is that a woman is not going to marry because of children. That is also not the reason. Okay, so why then does a woman want to marry? And what is a woman? What is the very first thing a woman is looking for in a partner? What is the first thing that a woman is looking for in a husband? What is the very thing that a woman wishes to see or desires to see in the husband or in the future husband? What is the greatest desire of a woman when she goes to marry? What is the number one thing a woman is looking for in a relationship? Well, even some women don't know this thing that I'm about to say now. Women might not even realize it, but this is what they are looking for. Women might not even they might not be able to put this in words. They might not be able to describe it, but this is exactly what they are looking for. They are looking for fatherly love. So the reason why a woman wants to marry is to find a real father, a protective father, a fatherly love and fatherly care. It is for fatherhood. It is for the reason of finding a father that every woman is looking for a relationship. When she's thinking of a relationship, when she's thinking of getting married, when she's thinking of having a husband, she's exchanging one father to another father. You know, every woman grew up in a house, even if she didn't have a father in the natural, even if she did not have relationship with her own physical father, even if she had never seen her father, still every woman intuitively is in need of the fatherly protection and fatherly covering. So the very first thing that a woman is looking for when she is looking to marry or looking up forward to a husband is that she is dreaming of somebody. Because you know what marriage means is she is leaving her father's house and coming over to another man's house. So she is looking and hoping that that person who is taking her from her father's house, that person will become a new father. And not just become a new father, a lot of women, especially those women that had bad experiences with their fathers, or those women that didn't have experiences with their father, or those women that had either good experience with their fathers as well, they are dreaming that this new man, this husband that is going to take them to marriage, that he is going to be better than their father. They are actually dreaming. The woman is dreaming that this man who is going to be her husband will treat her at least not worse than her father, or maybe better than her father, and more importantly, he will even still become more than a father to her. He will become a father, he will become a friend, he will become a mother, he will become everything to her. That is what a woman needs. Every woman is in need of that protective, fatherly love and care. So the need for a father, it is number one reason why a woman wants to marry. That is the very number one thing the woman is looking for. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something about women that the men don't know. Have you ever seen a woman that is always exposing herself when she dresses? Have you ever seen a woman that is always wearing short dresses or exposing dresses, or who are always using makeup that are always exposing? As a young man growing up in Africa and coming to Europe, I thought that women that do that are promiscuous, and that women do that only because they want sex, and that women do that because they want men to pay attention to them and to sleep with them. And I'm sorry that now I'm ashamed of that, and I'm ashamed that I'm talking like this, but what I just said now is exactly what 90% of men are thinking. 90% of men are thinking that a woman that is exposing herself, that is dressing vulgar, that is exposing her nakedness, that woman, she is promiscuous, and she wants sex, and she wants the attention of a man so that the man will be able to sleep with her. How much shock I got when I discovered that it is not. The reason why a woman is exposing her breast, we're exposing her legs, she will expose anything possible, anything necessary for her to get, you are right, to get attention, but not sex. She's doing that not for sex. She's exposing herself like that because she had been devoured. She had been, devoided, or she had not had the attention of a father. Most women who do that are women that are looking for compliment, acceptance, and looking for endorsement of a man. They are looking for endorsement. They want to hear a man's opinion. They want to hear a man's attention. They want to, they want somebody to acknowledge them. They are looking for the acknowledgement of a man. And the reason, in most cases, it is because those women, they never had an affirmative father in their families, in their homes. Maybe there was a father there physically, but he never affirmed them. When a woman grew up without the affirmation of a man, without the comfort of a man, without the acceptance of a man, without the attention of a man, the man who was supposed to have done that to her is a father, or an uncle, or a father figure. Every woman was supposed to grow up with that kind of affirmation, with that kind of acceptance. There must be a man in the life of every baby girl, every young girl that is growing up, that will accept her, that will pay attention to her, that will affirm to her that she is loved, that will affirm to her that she is accepted, that will affirm to her her dignity, that will let her know she's worthy, that she is respected, that she's accepted, that she is good the way she is. If a girl does not have that, if a girl does not have that fatherly acceptance, that fatherly protection, that fatherly affirmation, that fatherly comfort, if a girl did not have that when she was growing up, she will grow up looking for that fatherly attention. She will expose anything, because what she's thinking is, oh, I noticed that when I, dress like this, they begin to look at me. They pay attention to me. And attention is what she's looking for. She's taking that attention to me in the beginning of love. Oh, they are paying attention to me. So she's exposing herself more. And she's looking at the man that is looking at her and saying, oh, maybe he will affirm me. Maybe he will invite me. Maybe he will now embrace me. Maybe he will give me that acceptance. Maybe he will give me that welcoming arm. Maybe he will give me that welcoming embrace now. Oh, look at how he had affirmed me. Look at how he had love on me. Look at how he had paid attention to me. Maybe he will now love on me. Maybe he will now, cuddle me. Maybe he will now care for me. But she is not even thinking about sex that time. She's not even thinking about sex at all. She's just hoping that the man that is looking at her when she's but when she's exposing, she's just using that exposing as the cheap way to look for attention. It's just a cheap way, maybe it's just an easy way for her for people to pay attention to them. Now, some women might not be exposing their breast or their arms, their legs and things like that, but they are doing other things to look for attention. Some women might be going to to be extra active. They might be hyperactive, hyper agitated, and the reason they are agitated and active is just for somebody to pay attention to them. They are looking for attention. Or some women, in fact, a lot of women who are singing on the stage in churches, people go to the stages to sing and they are singing on stage and they are active. Some of them is because of they are looking for this same attention. They want people to pay attention to them and to affirm them, to receive them, and to acknowledge them, to honor them, to love on them. But they are just looking for that affirmation. They are looking for the father's affirmation, father's welcoming arm, father's welcoming embrace, father's cuddle, father's protection, father's affirmation, just to affirm that you are beautiful, you are wonderful, you are unique. She is looking for a man figure to give her that protective edge and to let her know that she is unique. She is looking for a man to affirm her uniqueness. So it is not. She's not thinking about sex that way. So now the question is, why does she sleep then? Why is it that she sleeps around? Now the reason why she will sleep is because when men begin to come closer to her and she realizes that is what they want, she is thinking, okay, even for me to have his attention and for me to have his acceptance, I'm even ready to sleep with her. If that is what he wants, if that is what will make him to give me this attention, she is just trading. She is trading that sex in exchange for the attention that she needs. She is not looking for the sex as number one thing. The thing she is really looking for is that attention, is that affirmation, is that love, is that protection, is that protective edge. So when she's sleeping with him, she's hoping that, okay, after sleeping with me, after giving him sex, he will love me more. He will stay with me more. He will pay more attention to me. He will love me more. He will never leave me. He will care for me. He will, now value me more. I will never lose this attention. Because she is dreaming of never losing that attention. She is dreaming of never losing that protective edge. She is dreaming of always having that man beside him. She is dreaming of the fact that he will never let her go. He will never leave her alone. So it is for the sake of him not to leave her alone, she will be ready to do anything, to sleep again, and she's always afraid of letting him go that way because of the lack of the lack of self-confidence that she has, the lack of self-fulfillment that she has, and the lack of affirmation that she has. Now, that is a problem, of course. It's a problem that, she's not fully satisfied by herself. It's a problem that she's not happy by herself, that she's not harmonious in herself. It's a problem that she's not fulfilled all by herself. The ideal situation would be for a woman to be fulfilled totally by herself and to be totally satisfied. But there are so many stories that happen in the life of people, and there are so many explanations and reasons for that you cannot always blame a woman when she's not fulfilled or when she's looking for that attention or when she really needs that fatherly attention. As a matter of fact, it is this same reason for fatherly attention and fatherly acceptance that women want to marry. They want to marry so that they will get a place where they will call home. They want to marry where they will, know that it is where they are totally accepted and where they are totally, feeling at home. Where they could call home and totally protected, and where they are, confident that they are accepted, they are whole, and they have been received. So this fatherly attention, fatherly love, fatherly acceptance is what a woman is looking for in marriage. So marriage, the very first thing a woman is looking for in marriage is not children. She's actually, as a matter of fact, even children, some of them are only going to have children as a means of expressing their gratitude to the woman. Just like a woman will give sex out to keep that attention, and she will be ready to sleep with a man to keep that attention, to keep that love, to maintain that attention. She will give sex. That is actually how it happens with children also. Many women are willing to give children even when they are not ready to give children yet, or when they are not ready to get pregnant yet, but still they will go ahead and give and be ready and be willing to do children or to give birth to children even when they feel they are not comfortable with it yet, but they are as a form of gratitude to him, as a form of expression of their total commitment to him, as a form of surrender to him, as a form of agreement that I'm all yours. That okay, since you have accepted me, since you have received me like this, I want to have a child for you. I want to give you a baby. I want us to have a baby together. It's as a it's already a consequential something. So children come as a consequence. Children come later on, but in the first instance, she is looking for that acceptance. She is looking for that love. She is looking for that covering. She is looking for that fatherly love, fatherly covering, and fatherly protection. So that is the first reason why a woman is getting married, and that's why I said yesterday that for a woman to agree to marry a man, that he must have proved that he will give her something not worse than what she already has in her father's house. That because now he is supposed to be to her a father, and not just a father, a friend, and not just a friend, but a mother as well. He's supposed to replace our mother. He's supposed to replace our father. He's supposed to replace our friends and be in the place of those old people for for her to be compensated. So when a woman is willing and ready to give up her family name, when a woman is willing to give up all herself and all her life, it is because she's hoping and expecting that in exchange for everything she's giving out, that this man will replace her father, this man will replace her mother, and this man will replace a friend, and that everything she has given up or she's given up, she's going to be compensated by the attention and the acceptance and the love she's going to have from this man that claims to love her. So whenever you tell a woman that I love you, she is hoping that you are going to prove it by giving her a fatherly protection, a fatherly covering, and a fatherly acceptance. She is looking for your attention. She's looking for your protection. She's looking for your acceptance. She's looking for just the way a father would take total control of a girl. That is the hope of any woman, that this, and let me tell you, men, this, you men that are out there, we normally think that we are fathers only to our daughters, and we are fathers only to our children. But in the real sense, before you could become a father to your children, and before you could become a father to your daughters, you must become, first of all, a father to your wife. Every worthy man must understand it first. If you don't understand that the very first thing a lady requires from you is to become a father, if you don't know how to father a wife, if you don't know how to be and act like a father to her first, it is better not to marry. It is better not to marry. Because if you are going to be seeing her just as partners, like equal partners, and you are going to say, okay, you pay 50% for the house, I pay 50%. You pay 50% for the food, I pay 50%. You are working now, go and work now. If that is the way you are going to be treating her, you are dashing her hope. You are totally breaking her morally. You are breaking her emotionally. The way it's supposed to be is this. Listen to me, men, now. The way you will treat a 3-year-old girl. Let's say you have a daughter, or I'm sure you have seen a girl before, a small girl, 3-year-old girl, or maximum 5-year-old girl. Do you know the way a father or a mother or any uncle or any person will treat a 3-year-old child, baby girl? That is how a woman should be treated. Any woman. Especially when that woman is your wife, or when that woman, is your daughter. She is expecting you to treat her just like you see a 2-year-old girl walking towards an edge, or walking towards a cliff, and you see that she's going to fall. There's a cliff there, and she's not seeing it, or there's a hole there, and you will run and be protective of her, and you say, oh no, oh Esther, oh no. You will run and care for her and carry her. So that is why that tenderness, that protectiveness is what every woman wants. Just like you would take a 2-3-year-old girl and put her on your lap and make her sit here and fondle her and love on her, that is exactly how a woman should be treated. You must take your wife and put her on your lap, on your leg, and just care for her. Always think in your mind that she is that inside. That lady needs a treatment of a 2-year-old or 3-year-old girl. And with a 2-3-year-old girl, you are not rough. You are not shouting and screaming at her. You are tender. With a 2-3-year-old girl, you are tender. That tenderness that you display towards a 2-3-year-old girl, that is the kind of tenderness that every girl needs. Every woman, even if she's 40 years old, even if she's the prime minister of the country, even if she's the president of the country, like Hillary Clinton now, she seems strong and she's going to be president of America, the president of the strongest country. But when she's going to the embrace of her husband, she needs that tenderness. She needs that kindness. So, and you are embracing a girl is always seeing herself as a little girl, as the little lady, as the 2-3 year old girl that is totally relaxed and totally protected by the embrace and the chest and the reassuring chest of a man. So if you as a man could think of this and could understand that the very first thing you could give to a woman, the very first thing you should give to your wife is that fatherly protection, that fatherly acceptance. If you could understand this, and you will only, even if that's the only thing you have, to just always treat her like that 2-3 year old girl. Not when she's at work or something, but I mean the niceness, the tenderness, the kindness, the fondness. If you could only give her that fondness of a 2-3 year old girl, the way you care. I mean, when you see your child, 2-3 year old girl that is in the house, you are going to her many times and you are asking her, hello, how are you, Esther? How are you today? Are you okay? Do you need anything? That is exactly what a woman needs as well. You need to always ask her, are you okay? Are you all right? You always need to reassure her that you are there, that you are watching over her, that, is she okay? Is she fine? You want to reassure her that, hello, Esther, how are you, Esther? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Okay, do you want to eat? Are you all right? So just the way you would care like that about that little young fragile girl, that is the same way you are supposed to be caring after your wife or after the woman that is looking up to marry you or you are looking up to marry. So fatherly love, fatherly protection is the number one need a lady has. And that is the number one reason why she is going to marry in the first place. So she's not going to marry for sex. She's only giving you sex as a sign of gratitude that you have accepted her. She's only giving you sex as a form of gratitude that, as a sign of trust, as a sign of trust that she has trusted her, that she could believe in you, that she could trust you, that she could, submit herself to you. She's only submitting herself and saying, I trust you. I don't hold anything back from you. That is only what that means. So sex is not our first priority. Even children are not our first priority. Our first priority is this fatherly love, fatherly acceptance, fatherly protection. So if a man cannot father a lady, he is going to make her life miserable. He's going to make her life miserable. So men must be taught to know how to father their wives. Men must be taught to know how to father a lady, but not before they marry them. If you don't know how to father her, if you cannot father her, you are onto a very rough road. And fathering her means to take responsibility for her, to let her know. You know the way father will assure a daughter that, everything is covered, everything is okay. That assurance that everything is okay, everything is covered. Don't worry, you don't need to worry about anything. You are covered. I've taken care of everything. I'm taking care of it. Everything is okay. Don't need to worry. That is what fathers do, and that is what fathers bring to the table. And that is one thing you have to bring to the table to the lady, and let her know that no, you don't need to worry about anything. Just like a child does not worry about what to eat, is there going to be breakfast today? Is there going to be? The father is working to provide that so that their daughter and her children would never have to be concerned or worry or ask questions. Is there going to be something to eat today or something to wear tomorrow or something? That is how a husband should be able to give such assurance, such protection, such peace to her that she doesn't even need to think about some things. She doesn't even need to bother herself about these things, because there is a fatherly husband at home. There is a man that is in her life that is able to give her that peace, that assurance, that comfort, that acceptance, that absolute peace and absolute assurance that she's under the protective arm of her husband, that she has a man in her life. That is what a woman is looking out for, and that's why they want to marry. And if a woman is not going to have that, marriage is going to turn to pain for her. Marriage is going to turn to sorrow for her. Marriage is not worth it in otherwise. Marriage is going to just be destructive to her. Marriage is just going to be miserable to her. And if a man does not understand that, she's going to make the life of the woman miserable. She's going to make the life of the woman painful. She's going to destroy her. She's going to crush her. And she will not know even why she's not happy. He might not even know why she's frustrated. But it will be just because he's not a father. And no man should approach a woman. No man should, try to ask out a woman if he is not having a full understanding of what it means to be a father to a woman. Not just to be a father to a child, but to a woman, first of all. You need to learn to father a woman. And not just your wife at the end of the day. Every man is supposed to be a father. We are supposed to be a father to our family. We are supposed to be a father to our women. But we are supposed to be a father to everybody in the society. We are supposed to be a father to our society, to our surrounding. Not in the sense of sexuality or anything like that. But you are still supposed to be there for your society. You are supposed to be there for the women around you, for the women in your life. You are supposed to be a father to your own mother even. You are supposed to be a father to your sisters. You are supposed to be a father and a father figure to your sisters. You are supposed to be a father figure to your mother. And you are supposed to be a father figure to all women and all ladies that are around you. Just be a gentleman and a father figure to them. But to your wife, that one there is no negotiation. That one is just your full-time job, being a father to your wife on full-time scale, all the time. So anyway, that is it. That is where we are. And I think my time is over. Yeah, my time is over. Let's go ahead and share this message. I think we need to all spread this message. We need to go and share this message. It might be able to help some people, I think maybe the men need to hear this message. And I think even the women might need to hear the message as well. I think, I think women will support men that these things are true. I think women will probably agree with me that they needed to hear this, and that the men they need to marry also need to hear this. And make sure your daughters hear this message, your sons, your husband, and your wives, and your girls. Just let's spread the word. God bless you, sir. God bless you, man. God bless all of you. Blessings.